On its surface, a murder at the end of the world may remind you a little of the Knives Out movies, but on its inside it carries the spirit of the girl with the dragon tattoo. I'm Stephen Archibald, and welcome to my movie podcast. Hello to you, and welcome to my podcast, They Came From Within, Cult Movie Reviews. It's all in the game. A Murder at the End of the World, 2023. This is a highly compelling mystery drama, which was written and created by Britt Marling and Zal Batman Glidge, who also shared directing duties. Emma Corrin proves to be sensational at conveying a complex personality who's courageous yet timid, apprehensive yet determined. Emma portrays Darby Hart, a Generation Z amateur sleuth who also happens to be a computer hacker. The story moves seamlessly between two timelines. In the present, we first see Darby in a bookstore reading extracts from her book The Silver Doe. She then receives an invite from the tech billionaire Andy Ronson to join with 8 other guests at his impressive retreat in Iceland. Someone is soon killed at this remote location. Darby's informed that the death was down to suicide, but she's convinced it was murder. The other timeline is constituted of flashbacks, in which we see Darby hook up with the gifted computer hacker Bill Farrer. The pair use their considerable skills in deduction to hunt down a man who has killed several women. Both care deeply for the dead victims whose remains they discover, and Darby, in particular, won't rest until the psycho's apprehended. Back in the present, she has to work out who's responsible for the killing which has occurred at the retreat. But before you know it, another person winds up dead. Everyone, of course, is a suspect. Could the killer be the host Andy Ronson, or his glamorous wife Lee, or any one of the other guests? Who knows? Maybe there's more than one culprit. The arrogant, seemingly all-powerful Andy Ronson is convincingly played by the fine English actor Clive Owen. Owen's genre credits include portraying the rough and tough Dwight McCarthy in the groovy big screen adaptation of Frank Miller's Sin City, released in 2005. He played a grieving activist to perfection in the superb dystopian thriller Children of Men in 2006. And he was a gun-toting drifter in the bonkers but wildly enjoyable Shoot 'em Up from 2007. Ronson has a menacing air, which is equally matched by his head of security, Todd Andrews, who's played by the finely chiselled Louis Canchelmi. Andy Ronson's wife Lee is played by Britt Marling. Britt and Zal Batman Glidge first conceived this story in 2019, and it was originally called Retreat. They wanted to write a tale featuring a young female amateur detective who's equipped with considerable technological know-how, and they wanted to create a character who'd be taken more seriously than Nancy Drew. And as I've said before, Emma Corrin's Darby Hart is utterly convincing. making Darby a coroner's child who grew up without a mother being around adds extra layers of interest. Britt and Zal first collaborated on the quality movies Sound of My Voice from 2011 and The East, which was released in 2013. They then made 2 series of the genre bending The OA for Netflix, released between 2016 and 2019. The Golden Globe winning Emma Corrin first gained widespread attention portraying Diana, Princess of Wales, in the 4th series of The Crown, going on to make the movies My Policeman and Lady Chatterley's Lover, which were both released by Netflix in 2022. And Emma is set to play a baddie in the upcoming 3rd Deadpool movie. Among the suspects, we find the actors Alice Braga, Joan Chen and Raul Esparza. The glamorous Brazilian actress Alice Braga portrays an astronaut called Sean Cruz, while Joan Chen and Raul Esparza play the wealthy individuals Lu Mei and David Alvarez, and their performances are a pleasure to watch. Remaining on the subject of good acting, the part of Bill Farrer was taken by the English actor Harris Dickinson, a young man who's appeared in noteworthy movies such as Triangle of Sadness, Where the Crawdads Sing, and The Iron Claw. And on TV, he portrayed John Paul Getty's grandson, John Paul Getty III, who was kidnapped by the 'Ndrangheta in the 1970s. A Murder at the End of the World is timely in that artificial intelligence and the use of deepfake technology plays a huge part. When Britt and Zal started writing this drama, the application of these things was more science fiction than science fact. We now know they are very much part of our real lives. This is such a good looking production, and the flashbacks feature desert scenes that are beautifully shot. And Andy Ronson's Icelandic variation on the Fortress of Solitude is stunningly designed. The show's production designer was Alex Di Herlando, whereas the crisp cinematography was carried out by Charlotte Bruce Christensen. It comes as no surprise to me to hear that A Murder at the End of the World was ranked among the best TV shows of 2023 by several leading publications, including Variety and Rolling Stone. This limited series was actually filmed in Iceland, and its US locations were mostly based in New Jersey. Filming took place between the April and December of 2022, and it was first broadcast in the States on Hulu from the 14th of November until the 19th of December 2023, receiving great streaming figures, making it likely we'll see Darby Hart again. I'm Stephen Archibald, and thank you very much for listening to my podcast, They Came From Within, Cult Movie Reviews. All of my episodes are available from most podcast hosts, and I'd be over the moon for you to follow me. Take care of your good self, and goodbye for now.